Okay, I'll slow down. Last time we talked, I had thought that you wanted me to bring the rent with me when I got there in person, and I didn't know that you wanted me to send it ahead of time because you hadn't told me that. So I was just...
Well, because I thought of it, and then I realized that I was talking to my brother, and he said that you better be careful because this guy probably like send his stuff there, and he's just not going to pay you.
That
That's
would...
what my brother said. And me being a girl, like, what am I going to do, like, hit you, you know what I mean? I can't do that. I can't do anything.
I don't
So
think...
I just want to make sure that you're actually really, like, paying for the rent, you know? Because, like, I just want to make sure that the check clear, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I...
Like, legitimately, like, really staying here for the month and paying for the month.
Yeah, I have every intent to stay there just because I don't have anywhere else to stay for the month of May at the moment.
Okay.
No, what's going through my mind is I just sent out pretty much everything that I have because I just finished clearing out everything else out of my apartment. So my concern, just as you're concerned, like you're talking to your brother that I'm gonna screw you over and just send my stuff there, is that...
Well, you're sending all of your...
Lynn.
You already know who I am as a person already, and you know I wouldn't do that. And you're sending all of your stuff, and I'm pretty sure, like, the value is more than the tag, you know what I mean?
It totally is. That's why I'm saying that...
Like, throw it, like, in the room, like, I'm just gonna, like...
I'm letting you get a word.
Push it in the room because it's, like, really heavy. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, what if this guy comes here and he just doesn't pay, you know?
No, I don't...
Like, the last day of my month, and I have to pay the rent, like, on time. And I have, like, people, like, trying to get the room, you know, they're like, oh, I'll pay up front. I'm like, no, you know, I have it reserved already for someone else, and they're like, oh, did the person already put the deposit? Like, no, and then the people, well, basically, I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he was like, whoa, are you sure that you're really going to reserve the room? I was like, oh my god. I don't know, I'm, like, paranoid now. But, like, you know, my last roommate, she, like, you know, did that. You know what I mean?
Do you want me to talk, or okay.
Why? You're, like, grumpy.
Alright, this is the deal. Like I just said, I totally want to stay there. I got the spot, I got the money. I just sent everything that I practically own besides the backpack that I have to you. And my concern is that you take my stuff, you take the money, and then when I get there, I'm totally fucked. You hear what I'm saying?
Okay, you know me already?
No, I don't.
I'm a person?
Lynn, I think you're a tremendously nice person, and so far it's been...
What? If you're gonna write it, say Linda Vu, and in the memo, put A. Huh?
I'm still here.
You want a secret?
No.
Because, like, if you put in the memo, put May, you know, I'm gonna have you find something when you get down here, you know? Like, are you okay with that?
Yeah, no, I'm committing to a month from when I get there to, you know, 30 days or whatever after that, you know. Pretty much from... I'm gonna get in San Francisco on the 6th, so I know you had mentioned coming up. I'm not real concerned about, like, if that works, that'd be awesome. If not, I can totally take a bus down to Santa Cruz or whatever. And so I'll be in Santa Cruz somewhere between, like, 7th, 8th, or 9th. I should be there by Monday at the latest or whatever. But I had just planned to see what was in San Francisco while I was there, and then come down. And look at...
You're not gonna, like, come down here on, like, May 15th and be like, oh, I'm gonna rent the room from May 15th until, like, June 14th or something like that, right?
No,
Like, delaying it?
we had already agreed on the dates or whatever, so I'm planning on staying.
Like, so we agreed, like, May 9th or earlier, like, if you do come earlier, you know?
Yeah, that's totally fine by me.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that's clear.
Yeah, you're starting to scare me, Lynn. Like I said,
No, you're scaring me, Don.
well, let's not freak each other out.
We're freaking each other out. Oh my god, I'm scared.
Yeah, I think that we got a plan or whatever. I wouldn't have had a problem sending you the money. Just this is the thing. It's like, it seems weird to me, like last minute, you know, it's been a lot of back and forth all of a sudden, you know. But
You did have a problem sending money earlier because you were like, you're like, oh, I don't know you. Because this was like 2 weeks ago, you know?
yeah, no, I know
And now you're saying that and not, if you're going to send it over the mail, don't send money order, send a check, so that if it clears, I know that it clears through, and I have a receipt that you gave it to me. And it says May lease, you know what I'm saying? That you were here.
Yeah, I get that. That's not gonna be a problem. I have a checkbook, and worst case scenario, I can get you a money order.
I'm just scared that, like, come here, and then you, like, send me a check, and it bounces or something. You're like, oh my god, I'll pay you, like, later in the month. You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying.
That's what my roommate did.
Yeah, I'm not your roommate, and while I understand what you're going through, whatever, I've got the money covered. That's not an issue. I just want to make sure I get there, my stuff's there, I've got the room like you said, and then I'll give you the check or whatever else. I know I talked to you earlier because you said you were freaking out about making the rent, and you weren't sure if you were going to have that.
I'll give you 200, like, partial, and then the rest later on.
I just want to make sure all my stuff is. I just want to make sure all my stuff is there when I get there, and I still got a place, you know.
Yeah, all that stuff we can push it in the room. Oh my god. Gosh, freaking me out.
I tell you what, Lynn. Why don't we sleep on it, and then we'll talk in the morning, and we'll come to some sort of like a final arrangement. We'll figure it out one way or another. I told you I'm good for it, and I'm good for it. I sent my stuff out, so. Because like I said, I'm putting all my eggs in one basket.
Because look, if you send me a check and something happens, you can easily say, oh, this girl has it, this is her name, and then the month says married. You know, that's why I told you in the memo, put May.
Right, and then the police are going to come to your door and demand that you give me back $450.
That's what's going to happen. They would do that. They'd be like, okay, this girl is like scamming him. And then they would look at it and they'd be like, it says May. You know?
No.
You're like, well, no.
No, what would honestly happen is there'd be like some sort of a civil procedure, and I'd have to get a lawyer, and you'd have to get a lawyer, and we'd have to go to court, and then I'd end up spending more than I spent on rent to get back the money that I spent in the first place.
Oh, God.
So, you're stressing me out right now, and I can tell you're stressing me out. So why don't we just chill for the night, and we'll talk in the morning, come to a final arrangement or whatever. Just last minute things kind of catch me off guard, you know. I can't, I hate being caught at the whim, you know. So.
I was even spent 175 pounds of stuff.
A lot of clothes. Like, if
you're just, I think you get your girlfriend to send it when you're, like, over here, you know?
I could. Well, it's going to be there a week to 10 days, so it might be there when I get there. It might not. It's not going to get there until another week at the earliest, and then 10 days at the latest. So that's about when I'm going to be there. I leave here in the next few days. Yeah. So.
Okay, so our original thing was you wanted for the living room. So I'm trying to find someone like last minute for the room. If I don't find someone, then you can stay in the room, obviously. Like we already talked about that.
Okay, last I knew that you didn't find somebody for the room, so I could get the room or whatever. But.
I said if I don't find someone for the room, you can get the room. Remember?
So you're still looking for somebody else to get the room for me or whatever?
I'm really trying.
And then I'm gonna get the living room.
It's pretty big.
What?
There's like nothing in there.
Seeing how it's like the same amount of money, why don't you rent out the living room for $450 and then give me the room for $450? Seeing as how.
Gosh, this is what we talked about already. This is why I'm like freaking out.
Yeah.
When you're